This is a Nintendo Switch. It is Nintendo's best-selling console of all time. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, it's because of this guy, Harman Smith. Yeah, remember him? Is once again doing this bit. This time he talks about the Virtual Boy on NSO. And my response to that is, why?
Bitch!
Okay, so yeah, Nintendo just recently released the Virtual Boy Nintendo Switch Online for Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. They also released the actual Virtual Boy attachment for Switch 1 and Switch 2. And if you cannot afford that one, there's also apparently another Nintendo version of the Google Cardboard. Yeah, everyone remembers the Google Cardboard.
So after making all of this, I found out there's this thing called Google Cardboard. And some idiots actually made a VR headset out of cardboard. Can you believe it? It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Why would anyone do something as ridiculous as this? I would never ever consider making something dumb like a VR headset made out of cardboard. Come on, dude, are you kidding me?
Google Cardboard from Google. So, Harman Smith made a video called, wait, what's it called again? Nintendo has won the VR war. What VR war? What VR war are you even talking about? Like, the only VR headset Nintendo has is a Google Cardboard clone. I'm not kidding. It's just Google Cardboard all over again. Look at this, and this. Where do you think Nintendo gets this from? Google Cardboard. I'm gonna have to grab something real quick. Please hold. I have the MetaQuest 3. I have my motion controllers are charging right now, so Gamepad VR it is. Now, before I get started, I want to make this very clear. Yeah, you have to remember, like a while ago, while the Switch 1 was still around, the Quest 2 was also still around with the Switch 1 as well. See, here's the thing, Harman Smith repeatedly states that the MetaQuest is more expensive than the Switch.
Like, if Nintendo could sell, like, a $150 headset that you can plug your Switch 2 into to have all the same features as, like, a $500, like, Oculus MetaQuest 3, like, that is going to completely eviscerate that entire industry.
But here's the thing, though. Like, the Quest 2 was still around when the Switch 1 was still around. The Quest 2 around that time was around $200 US. $200 US. Yeah, that's $100 cheaper than the Switch 1. Yeah, I know that's like a price drop after the Quest 2 originally retailed for $300, but still, it was still cheaper than the Switch 1. And if you don't believe me, I'll post up a screenshot right here. Bam! You can see it right here. Right there. And there's another one right here. And just in case you forgot. So just want to point that out there. So please, Harman, please, Harman. I know you're watching this, Harman, because you said this in your stream saying you were planning on getting a MetaQuest for Resident Evil 4 VR. Yes, I've been watching your live streams to torture myself. Yes, don't at me. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started.
The Virtual Boy is very, very interesting to me because this is a re-release of a console that I think a lot of people didn't expect to get a re-release. You know, this is it's out on NSO. You can get this piece of hardware on the Nintendo Store. You can plug in your Switch to it, and it can pretty accurately recreate the experience of actually playing on a Virtual Boy. So it's better than like the 2D like conversions on emulation that like you may be familiar with. So this has like the 3D effects that are completely unemulatable, by the way.
Hey, Harman Smith, you were saying?
So it looks and plays like the actual Virtual Boy, and it's something that like a lot of us never thought would happen. You know, I was pushing for like Nintendo to do something like this with DS first, but I do think this is like a pretty good first step in that like they're releasing hardware that you can plug your Switch into and can emulate other Nintendo consoles. So I'm sure they can do the same thing with DS emulation, with Wii U emulation. You know, I'm sure at a certain point we're going to see like more and more classic Nintendo hardware just kind of expand.
Yeah. Like that's ever going to happen. Oh, look.
With these kind of accessories. But like, that's not what this video is about. Like, the interesting thing about this to me is that looking at the Virtual Boy and how much effort they put into like the unique form factor, you know, plugging your Switch into the Virtual Boy and then having like the goggles simulate like the 3D effect. It's very interesting to me because I feel as if in theory this would be a perfectly, the console is perfectly capable of doing the exact same thing, but with a more modern VR headset. So you could plug your Switch into a VR, into a headset, have the Switch be the computer, and like have it like run the games and all that. But the headset is just kind of like a goggle to like simulate the 3D effect.
So basically, what you're saying is you want Nintendo to make a VR headset that's similar to the Samsung Gear VR. Got it.
I think in theory, this is like what Nintendo is going to do when it comes to like VR going forward. Because we all know like VR is a niche thing. It's too expensive.
If VR is too expensive, then why is Meta selling the Meta Quest 3S? Not the regular Quest 3, mind you, the 3S. This one. This Quest 3S. This one, they're selling this for $300. Why couldn't you just get this one? Why couldn't you just get the Quest 3S for $300? It's $300 right now. It's cheaper than the Switch 2.
Like, there isn't enough software for it.
Oh my god, why is it so hard for Harman to understand this? Okay, I'm going to the store right now and looking at my wish list. There's a whole bunch of games that are available to choose from. Look, you have all of this right here, all in your library. You can all of this is available. You know, like Walkabout Mini Golf, Red Matter 2, Into the Radius, Moss. You have the Blade and Sorcery, Beat Saber. You also have like what else? Pinball FX, Vader Immortal. You also have like Creed. There's also Chernobyl, Deadpool VR, like Batman Arkham Shadow. There's that Beyond Sandbox game right here. Beyond Sandbox. You also have Cities VR, which is a VR adaptation of Cities Skylines. Cities Skylines is an all-time favorite city builder. And then you also have this Wraith Aeron Ruin right here that's being worked on, which is also cool. There's Thief and all that. Into the Radius 2. Lego Bricktales. Lego Bricktales. That's also cool. Paint the Town Red. Moss Book 2. Arizona Sunshine and all. There's Iron Man. And then there's Metal and Beyond. Vampire Survivors. Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. And then Mobile Suit Gundam. That's good. Rivet, the sequel to Myst. Yeah, the guys that made Myst, they made Rivet, sequel to Myst remake. That's a good one. And then you also have Res Infinite. Res Infinite. Nice. They make... what else? And then you also have Star Wars Pinball VR. That's cool. Wanderer, the Fragment of Fate right here. And then you also have Cold. Yeah, Cold right here. And there's also Z-Race. In fact, I'm gonna go to my library right now. And here's what I have. A Souls-like VR game called Grimlord, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. And then Chapter 1. And there's also Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution. Tetris Effect Connected. That's awesome. Metal Hellslinger VR, which is pretty cool. CarX Rally VR. Sniper Elite VR. Cool. The Climb 2. Both of these are rock climbing games made by a developer called Crytek. Crytek did a fantastic job making rock climbing games. If you like rock climbing, buy these two games on Quest. You also have Bulletstorm VR, Mudrunner VR. Mudrunner is really good. Arizona Sunshine Remake, Grid Legends. This is actually a very underrated Quest port. I'm really impressed with this one. Here's Myst. The Myst 2020 remake. This is what originated on Quest first. And then of course you have some really good ones like Thumper and Resident Evil 4 VR. And then you also have what else? Oh yeah, there's also one game that made me get this one. Please hold. It's a fantastic game. Like if you have a VR headset, go buy this one. This is actually really good. It's a good pick to choose. So it's really good, and I highly recommend you guys check this game out. I'm not gonna go through the entire library of games, but you get my point. All right. Oh, and check this out. You can actually install side quests on it. Side quests is awesome. So you can install things like Counter-Strike VR, and as a matter of fact, I can go over here. Okay, so here's what you have. You have like a Ultima VR. I think that's Ultima, right? Is this? Yeah, Ultima 4 on Quest. Ultima 4 on Quest. You can get that. You also have Counter-Strike VR, like I mentioned, which is pretty cool. You also have Duke Nukem 3D VR, Prey VR. You know, a VR port of Prey 2006. Not Prey 2017. Prey 26. Prey 2006. Not Prey 2017. Prey 2006. Keep that in mind. And then you also have... Oh, this is really gonna make you mad, Harman. This is really gonna make you mad. Alright. Anyways, you have... Oh, and get this. For all the pirates out there sailing the seven seas, you have... you can pirate Virtual Boy games, PSP games, Citra, Nintendo 3DS games. Oh, and for all the PC gamers, you can also play PC games on this without needing a PC. Oh, and you also have Doom 3, Quest Z Doom, Half-Life, Wolfenstein, and then you have Minecraft, and all Quake 1, Quake 2, and Quake 3. So, oh, and Tomb Raider. You also get Tomb Raider on here. Yeah. Bet you didn't see that one coming, did you, Harman?
But there definitely is this like potential there. And I feel like Nintendo for a long time has been struggling on how best to like try and like go into this industry without really going into it, because like it's just not viable right now. And we saw that already with like Labo VR, where like a lot of major Nintendo games had like these VR headsets that like you could use and play with like the Labo VR. It wasn't super popular or successful, but they tried that with the cardboard.
So after making all of this, I found out there's this thing called Google Cardboard. And some idiots actually made a VR headset out of cardboard. Can you believe it? It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Why would anyone do something as ridiculous as this? I would never ever consider making something dumb like you know, a VR headset made out of cardboard. Come on, dude, are you kidding me?
Like, people clowned on it, but like the reality of it was that Nintendo was experimenting with a method to make VR as cheap as possible.
You already do! It's called the Quest 2! Come on, Harman! I know you're paying attention! The Quest 2 was like $300 at the time, and it got a price drop costing $200. The Quest 2 being $200 is cheaper than the Quest 1 being at $300. $100 cheaper than the Switch 1.
Okay, so the core issue with the technology, the price point would not be an issue going forward, right? And with the Virtual Boy, they did something similar in which like they had two different versions of the Virtual Boy. They had like the fully fledged hardware replication, which is what I got, and then you have the cardboard. And a lot of people right now are saying the cardboard version that you can get for $25 is actually superior. I don't know how true that is, but like I think that really showcases Nintendo's mindset when it comes to this, is that like they are experimenting with the possibilities of VR, using these Virtual Boys, using this cardboard to try and like beta test this technology.
いや、今のはなかなかだった。
Harman Smith is actually lying to you all. Somebody already tried this already. Somebody is called Google. If Google Cardboard was the beta, then Google Daydream was the final product. Anybody remember the Google Daydream? Neither does Google.
And I do think it's very, very possible that we very well may see an actual Nintendo VR headset this generation because of it.
I mean, it's possible, but it's not gonna beat the MetaQuest 2. The MetaQuest 2 by itself has sold over 20 million units worldwide, making it the most popular VR headset of all time.
But it's gonna like be very functionally different than other VR headsets, where it will not be its own isolated thing, where like Meta is just like, oh yeah, please pay $500 so we can seize your so we can sell your personal information to advertisers. That's Meta's actual business model, by the way. Nintendo's gonna be like, hey, guess what? We're gonna have actual video games with this actual VR headset that's like a fifth the price of what you'll pay for elsewhere, because you already have like the actual expensive thing, the Switch 2. Like, you just need like a headset to set it in.
You guys notice this, right? You guys notice how Harman does not bring up the MetaQuest 3S? The 3S, right here. Not this one, this one. Harman Smith, listen. If you want a Quest that badly, do yourself a favor, trust me on this. Go buy the one that costs $300. Okay? It's only $300. Do not get these two, just get this, and you will be done with it. Duh! Who am I kidding? This is Harman Smith I'm talking about. He's just gonna wait for something that's Nintendo related.
Right, and there may be like some bells and whistles to it. It may function as like a dock. It may have like some different features. Like I can see it being like 150, like more than the Virtual Boy. You know, in theory, they could like come out and do this, and I feel as if people aren't really thinking about like the implications of this. Like, if Nintendo could sell like a $150 headset that you can plug your Switch 2 into to have all the same features as like a $500 like Oculus MetaQuest 3, like that is going to completely eviscerate that entire industry.
Newsflash, Harman. Samsung already tried that with Samsung Gear VR, where people will have to use phones and such. And guess what? It did not work out the way it did.
Like, that is just going to be damning. It's going to be ridiculous. Like, there will be no recovery from Meta at that point, because this is a headset that like already that like people have a lot of issues with. There is no software for it. Like, they're not all that interesting or fun. Like, Nintendo doing the same thing but better is going to be a death sentence for them. Like, absolutely 100%. Like, the only reason Meta ever even got anywhere in this industry is because there was no competition, and they were just like,
really? No competition? The Pico 4 would like to have a word with you.
throwing all their like billions of dollars into this to try and be like the VR like market leader, and it seems like Nintendo's going to eat their lunch. It's fucking insane. And to think it was kickstarted by the Virtual Boy of all things. Like, that is that's the funny thing about this, is that like looking at this situation is like seeing how the Virtual Boy beat the Oculus Quest to market, was so far ahead of its time.
Did this guy really just... Right now, I'm on the Wikipedia page for list of best-selling consoles of all time. The MetaQuest 2 by itself has sold over 20 million units worldwide. By comparison with the Virtual Boy being the worst-selling Nintendo console of all time, if you go all the way to the very bottom, it doesn't even list it on here! Nintendo's worst-selling console sold that badly!
That no one picked it up or supported it, and then 30 years later, you know, becomes a bestseller in its own right, and then like sets the stage for like Nintendo's real VR headset.
Oh, let me guess, is it another one of these? Or these?
Like the next evolution of the hardware, one that will like far surpass everything that Meta has done up to this point. Like, this is very, very, very exciting, because I think it demonstrates what the future of console gaming is going to look like. Because one of the big copes in the industry for the past several years was this idea that like, oh yeah, consoles are going to stop innovating, and it's going to be PCs that have all these major technological advancements. Like,
yeah, because consoles nowadays are becoming PCs.
We're seeing more and more that isn't true. Okay, like people buy stuff like Oculus VR and they use it on their own, right? Like, you know, these devices can connect to the internet without a computer, right? So what's going to happen is that like the PC is going to kind of be this like unspecialized jack of all trades thing, while increasingly people will buy like less expensive hardware for more niche purposes and then just kind of use that for whatever they need. Right, so gaming hardware is not going anywhere. Is what we've been seeing. Like, gaming hardware will continue to innovate, and it will continue to grow in very interesting, involving ways.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Google Cardboard has evolved VR gaming. Congratulations, Nintendo! You took all the lessons you got that Google has made. Yay, Nintendo taking Google's advice.
And I think this is a very, very good example of that. You know, we are seeing Nintendo dominate with the Virtual Boy right now. You know, we're seeing them dominate with Hollywood. We're seeing them dominate with the parks. Like, this company is rapidly growing and expanding, and I feel as if people don't really understand what's actually happening, what's actually going on. So this entire situation is something that really clearly demonstrates how far ahead Nintendo is of even the biggest companies in the world. Nintendo is going to stomp Meta.
Dear God, finally, the video is now over. Now, listen, if any of you guys want to get started with virtual reality, the MetaQuest 3S, the one that's $300, is the best way to go. It's a very good entry point for virtual reality. Now, everybody listen. Do not listen to what Harman Smith is saying. Harman Smith has no clue what good hardware is. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the video. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and make sure you click that notification bell, and stay safe. So stay tuned for more virtual reality related content and other content in my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Raymond YouTube 1, and I'm out.